Hello, Karen Del Maestro here, and welcome to day one of our pre-holiday 5-day self-care tune-up. That's a bit of a mouthful. And for this self-care tune-up, we're doing our live videos at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So for me, that means it's tea time. I don't know about you. If you are on live with me, catching up with us, I hope you have a cup of tea. If you do, let me know what kind in the chat. Pop in and say hello. Today, I'm actually drinking elderberry and echinacea. Good to boost the immune system. Okay, all of those germs going on out there, and as we talk about the holiday season, we're going to be out more. We're typically going to be around more people. So that's just a important little thing to add on, right? So today we're going to be talking about what exactly is self-care and why is it so important. Now, this is a question that I get asked all the time. I talk about self-care all the time, trust me, like all the time. And many of my clients, when I first start working with them, say, Karen, you know what, you talk about this, but I'm not even sure what it is. Right? Not exactly sure what self-care is. So I want to start there because I want you to have a really clear idea of what it is. And we're also going to be talking about why it's so important, especially if you've ever been diagnosed with breast cancer or a genetic mutation. Okay? Because this, ladies, affects our health and well-being in a way far bigger than you could ever imagine. Part of the reason why I'm so passionate about it. So what is self-care? I'm going to draw a little bit here today, so be kind. Okay, I'm no artist, but I invite you to think of your body as a teapot. Okay, so this is your body. Your body is this beautiful teapot. And yes, you may think, Karen, are you just obsessed with tea or what? A little bit, I think, it's becoming clearer and clearer that I might be. And I want you to think about, and you can even do this actually, if you get your fingers out and start doing this, think about all of the people in your life that you take care of. Okay? Count them on your fingers. How many people do you take care of, including kids, grandkids, significant other, aging parents? Are you the go-to for your friends? Are you the strong one, the one that your friends always come to, where you're being pulled in a million different directions? Count up with your hands, drop it into the chat, and let me know how many people you take care of. Okay. And while you're doing that, I'm going to continue over here with some teacups. Okay. Now, don't forget, drop into the chat if you're on live with me. How many people in your life do you take care of? Think of pets too, right? All of the things that are drawing your attention outward, all of the things that you do and you care about. Perhaps you're a teacher, perhaps you're a nurse. Don't forget, you've got patients or students that you feel responsible for. Whose burdens are you carrying? Who do you worry about? Add up all of those people and let me know. Now, what happens is, right, I invite you to think of your energy level as the amount of tea that you have in your pot. Okay? And what happens throughout the day, we're pouring from our teapot into everybody else's teacups. Now, here's the thing. When you go back to counting your fingers, did you count yourself? Maybe not. Right? Most of us don't even think of taking care of ourselves, especially the people who tend to be in my world. And I used to be the same way. I used to be somebody that just gave everything that I had to everybody else. Everything, everything. And I did it no matter how tired I was or how much I had on my plate. I would just give and give and give. And perhaps you're the same. But here's the question: how do you expect to get your energy and your life back if you keep giving every ounce of everything that you have to everybody else? We can't. We can't, because what happens, right, is that teapot, that level of tea just gets lower and lower and lower and lower as we keep giving and giving and giving and giving. Now, why does it matter, right? Why does it matter? I mean, I think giving is a beautiful thing to do, and those are the people in my tribe. Those are the people that I spend time with, right? People who are givers, who take care of others. That's who I am. But this is the big but: it's fabulous to do that until it starts to affect your mental, emotional, and physical health and well-being. Because when it starts to affect that, it becomes detrimental to you and your health. And that typically happens when that level of tea is way down here and you're sucked dry. So, what happens when we're sucked dry? How does it affect the rest of our life? We tend to isolate ourselves. We tend to make food choices that are probably not the best if we don't have the energy to cook, right? We're ordering pizza again, or we're picking up stuff at the grocery store, just something that you can throw in the microwave, a ready meal of some kind. Like, that's what happens when we're tired. We push off going for a walk or to the gym because we're too exhausted. We kind of pull away from relationships and isolate ourselves. All of these things happen when our energy is focused outward. Now, self-care and this may come out backwards to you. Oh no, I don't think it does. Awesome. Self-care is the thing that tops up our teapot, right? So that we've got more energy so that we can keep giving. Without that energy, we can't keep giving. We're going to feel sucked dry. So self-care, my definition of self-care, because I think it's a bit different than other people's, it's not the manicures and pedicures and massages, although those are fabulous, and by all means, feel free to do that. But self-care, true self-care, is more than that. Self-care is the conscious act that you take to promote your physical, mental, and emotional health and well-being. In other words, self-care is the thing that stops you from getting sucked dry, right? That makes you feel healthy up here, that makes you feel calm and centered and peaceful in your life so that you can still give to others. And I think so often, I know certainly I hear that people feel guilty, right? Feel guilty for focusing on themselves. But surely, if we look at this and truly understand what it means, why would we feel guilty that we're topping up our teapot so that we've got more tea so that we can help more people? Why do we feel bad about that? Because I think there's this myth that if we take care of ourselves, then we can't do this. It means that we're removing this, and it means that we're being selfish. And somehow this idea was floated around, and probably from when we were kids, probably within our household, probably from media and everywhere around us in society. And I'm going to put my foot down. I'm going to put my foot down. I'm not going to let you believe that anymore. Because true self-care, the self-care that you're going to learn this week, the self-care that I talk about and I teach in my coaching programs, especially in Thrivership School, these are the things that change your life. And the trickle-down effect is that you have more energy. You're able to help more people. You're showing up in your relationships more. Now, I invite you today to think about why you want more energy. What would it mean to you to have more energy in your life every day? What would it mean to you? What would change? And do you want more of that? What do you want to be able to do with that energy? Now, this is the kind of thing that I know after being and working in health and wellness for 20 plus years, it can feel uncomfortable to even start to think about that. And so I don't even know what I want. Self-care starts here. It starts by tapping into your heart. What's in your heart? And if you've gone through breast cancer, I do know that something pulled you through. There was something that you chose to fight for, to be here and continue to live. Because every survivor that I talked to, every woman that has gone through this disease had that. When they heard this spine shivering words, you have breast cancer. And I include myself in this. The first question I asked myself, am I going to die? Because we don't know in the beginning, right, what stage we are or what's going on. Very quickly thereafter, and I hope you did the same, I said, no, doesn't matter. I'm going to be here. I'm going to fight. I'm going to do what I need to do. And part of my why, is my family, my amazing husband, my adult kids. And now, most recently, we're doing this live, my 8-week-old grandson. I want to be here. I want to see him. I want to play with him. I want to go to the beach with him. I want to cook cookies with him. I want to go on vacation with us all together. For me, it's those precious moments, seeing him at the holidays as he grows up. It's those precious moments for me that pull me through. So why do you want more energy? Why do you want to take better care of yourself? And perhaps it's not to get sick again. Or perhaps it's not to get sick in the first place. Or perhaps you're just saying, you know what? I've been meaning to do this my whole life, and now is the time. Sometimes it's when we find ourselves with an empty nest, or maybe we're in midlife, or gone through a divorce. It's often after a life-changing moment that we look at this and we realize, wow, and often even become bitter and angry and resentful that so much of us has been dedicated to everybody else and not to ourselves. And I want you to know, if you are feeling that way, please don't feel guilty about that. It's okay to feel like that. It's okay to say, hey, it's my time. It's time for me to take care of myself. And as we go through this time together over the next 5 days, you'll realize exactly why this is so important. Okay? So, as we learn going through this week, self-care is the conscious act you take to promote your physical, mental, Really important, because often we think about the physical, we're not thinking about the mental and emotional health and well-being. This often gets left behind. And where our mind goes, our energy flows. So if we're looking at energy, and this is spinning and worrying about everybody else, worrying about the to-do list for the next day, worrying and stressing already about the holidays and what am I going to do? Perhaps you worry and stress. What are they going to say? What are they going to think? All of that is energy here focused outward of you. It's not self-care. It's not self-care. So self-care is putting into you. So think about the things that bring you joy. Think about the things that top you up. Think about when you get off the phone with that really good friend and you've laughed and your cheeks are sore. I did this the other day with a friend of mine, and we communicate all the time over text. But we finally were able to communicate on the phone. We were on the phone for a bit, then we lost service, and then we went over to FaceTime. We were connected for about 2 hours. Deep, beautiful conversation, laughing, exploring, like just really getting to know each other. And I got off that call, and there's not many people that I would talk to for 2 hours in a personal circumstance, 2 hours. And I was just smiling and feeling so good and so calm and so energized. We can feel calm and energized at the same time, right? Calm meaning centered, energized meaning vibrant. Like, this is what I want more of in my life. The things that top me up and less of the things that suck me dry. I want that for you too. That's what this self-care journey is all about. Okay. So tomorrow, day 2, we are going to be talking about, let me just grab my cheat sheet here. Sorry. Tomorrow's a good one. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about how to effortlessly make time for you, right? So if you've ever thought, I don't have a minute to myself, there's not enough hours in the day for me to take care of myself. I'd love to go to the gym when I get home from work and my sneakers are in the corner like staring at me, but I just land on the couch and Netflix and a glass of wine went out again, right? It happens. Okay, and I invite you to go through this week observing certain things. As we go on these calls, you're going to see things you're going to start observing. Like from here, you're going to start observing, and please, no judgment, no blame, no, I should have done this sooner. Why am I doing this? None of that. Because that's adding on to your stress, and I don't want you to do that. So we're just looking at it from a place of observation, curiosity even, and just saying, okay, well, is it working for me? Is it serving me? Is it topping up my teapot, or is it draining my teapot? It's a good way of looking at it and just saying, okay, if it's draining my teapot, maybe there's something we can do in there. Okay, so tomorrow, we're going to be looking at how to effortlessly make time for you daily. There is one tip tomorrow that will blow your mind with its simplicity, but it's extraordinarily effective. Everything you're going to learn this week is effective. And please do not be disturbed by how simple these things are. It's the simple things, consistently acting on these simple things, that brings a solid foundation to the house of health that we want to be building. And it starts here. Everything starts with self-care, including your food choices, including managing your stress, your relationships. Everything is affected by your ability to take care of yourself. So buckle up. It's going to be an amazing week. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. me have a sip of my tea right now. Make sure you've got your cup of tea if you're joining me live. And, or whatever beverage you prefer, of course. And I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. And we're going to talk about how to make time for you without it being a big deal, without you needing to turn your schedule upside down, inside out. And you'll be surprised at how easy it can actually be. So that's it for today, guys. Again, I'm Karen Del Maestro, your host for this amazing 5-day self-care tune-up. And I will be back tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye for now.